Okay, hello everybody. So as said before, today I'm in Bern, Switzerland. Unfortunately, not nice weather, but I actually hope to be today in Munich, but due to the corona, everything is a little bit different. But so it's exciting for all of us. So the question today is, how can MSPs bundle security solution? And I want to start there where we had a nice statement during the panel discussion this morning from Markus Auer when he talked about people, process, and technology. And for the people, they don't know me so far, some words of me and of Puncdavista. We are now 17 years old. That means we started in 2002. We are actually 9 people and we have 2 places where we are based. We are in Aarau, Switzerland and in nice Hamburg in Germany. And our focus is not the technology world. We talk about concepts, we talk about frameworks, we talk about consulting, we talk about training, about management of change with the people. So our name, Puncdavista, I give you an example. You see maybe this nice mountain. This mountain is called Bella Vista, and Bella Vista is Rätoromanisch and means nice view. And Puncdavista is also Rätoroman and means perspective. So we show a perspective to our customers, and sometimes it's a nice perspective and sometimes not, but it helps to really figure out, okay, where we have to work on and what is the clue at the end of the day. So we look at everything from a different point of view, and so I'm very happy to be here today to give you another, some ideas maybe how you can look when you talk about MSP, or if you talk about security, or if you make it simple, if we talk about ourselves within our companies with all our tasks and works and duties and all that around. So at the end of the day, these are the 9 heads. We are working together. Maybe you know one of us. I'm the person in the middle. I would say, as you see, we have 4 women and 3 women and 6 men working for yes, companies around this world. So let's have a look at this today's world. Yes, that's not only the coronavirus, that's what we see actually when we come to our customers. There's a little bit like everywhere is a little bit chaos today. Why? We have so many things we should do. We should do something in security. We should be more efficient. We should be more efficiency. We have a very fast changing market. We have people around not knowing how to manage all around that. And then we had Corona. I give you a real example where I am today in Bern. I am the Swiss Red Cross. I think everybody knows the Red Cross organization. And I was there during all this time, during the Corona crisis time. And what the Red Cross is doing in the front, they help elderly people. They bring persons to the doctor. They bring the meals for lunch and everything like that. And all is organized in some satellites around Switzerland. I think we have around 30 points from where everything is organized. And from one day of the other, everybody working in this coordination part had to work from home, but everything in front had still work. Yes, people are hungry and we cannot serve virtual food. We cannot bring the people virtually to the doctor. So we had on one hand side Corona, at the other hand side people work in the home office. So at the beginning it was a good example. Everywhere a little bit was chaos, but nobody wants to have that. So if we look at our challenges we have currently in our environment, we have a change of focus today. If you look some years ago, we had a typical focus of the IT staff was in the technology world. We talk about applications, we talk about features, we talk about functions. We had a lot of technical system changes. We had a lot of things, and then we were technical. And then we had this service management focus. Yes, what is the benefit? And today let's talk about security management focus. So also during this Corona time, for all the thieves, their business model changed. Usually they broke into houses, and now the houses were occupied by the people living inside and working from home. So they had to change their business model to phishing mails and all that. So from one day on the other, the business model, business context was, okay, more sensitive. We had to have an eye on it. So what is the business process? What is sensitive there? What are what has to be secured? Which are the really enabling services? Yes, that the business is still running. What we talked about continuity management years ago, from one day of the other, it was very interesting. Which are the critical systems and why, and what is running on this system, and which data and information is flooding through the system and through the network. So there was really something changing. And so when we talked about this mind change, yes, okay, things towards consumer service, what are they doing and which security needs do they have? So IT as enabler of business is also an enabler of security. So what does this mean? So in that, we also see that we have a new positioning of the IT organizations. A lot changed. So we have some, they are today service provider, others are integrators, then we have contribution service providers. And now we are in this world where we are together today. We have managed service provider and yes, managed security service provider. This is a need today. Yes, from one day of the other, we cannot enable security. And the easiest way is to say, yes, let's outsource it. Yes, it's one part of it. So let's have a look. What does that mean? So this is the chance for this business to grow. That's at least my opinion here. So what is the customer expectation at the end of the day? If we look at the chaos on the left-hand side, so we want to go to this direct error at the end. So we want to have at the end this. This is the expectation. Clear, easy, working, safe. So as we learned before, people are trusting in people, people are buying from people. So something which is clear to handle and where we can trust. So this is the expectation which is still here, and we have to take that in our consideration. Okay, what we have to do here. So let's have a look on this people, process, technology from another way, from 4 dimensions. At the end of the day, organization and people. So as first dimension, let's have a look on us. So if I ask everywhere, what are your goals? What are the objectives? Is it clear what you are doing? So at the Swiss Red Cross, it's very easy. They know we help elderly people, we help poor people, we help people which have no place in this society. So it's absolutely clear. The second question, what is the contribution from an ICT department to fulfill that, is much harder. And if we go further on and ask for each employee, what is your contribution to that? And then someone said, I'm security officer. So how to bring that in one direction that we say, okay, we know why we are doing this work. So behind that, it's important that we have clear tasks, that we have responsibilities, contact points which are defined. Roles, we can talk about these clear roles, yes. Okay, accountability, responsibility, who does what. This helps, but we need also the spirit inside. Why do I work here? Positive culture, learning culture, values which are clear. Yeah. Beliefs that what we are doing at the end leads to good work results, that I have a feedback from that. So at the end, we need capabilities, skill, competencies. We need well-educated people. And this is one part of it. If this is not here, we can have a lot more. Then we can work over policies, we can work over guidelines, but the intrinsic motivation and spirit is missing. So from that, let's have a look on the other side, information and technology. That it's where most of the audience here feels home. They say, okay, what is the job of the ICT here? Yes, information and knowledge. There is a lot of generated information we have to manage. It should be well kept, it should be protected, it should be used, it should be stored, it should be secure, and all that. It's all about information and knowledge. If we talk about how to manage that, then we talk relatively fast about the architecture. We can have, yes, a technology architect. Yeah, we have a lot of firewalls, we have the servers, we have the proxies and all the infrastructure things. We have applications, we learned before, we have not 1, 2, 3, 4 as login, we have encrypted codes and all that. And usually we have a process architecture which is clear, so we have the business processes from one step to the next, and all that looks fine. And then there is something in between this data architecture. I know no company until today where we have one unique data element and one source. For example, if we have Felim, we have him once in the CRM, if we have him in another system because there is no direct link. At the end of the day, we have 5 times Felim and as well in an Excel sheet. So if we look about what he has to be safe, which data elements, which attributes, his salary, his days of vacations, his days of illness and all that. Yes, maybe it's easy with the personal data and all behind, then we see, okay, we can have a lot of technology, but if we have our data streams not under control, it's very hard to manage that because we don't know what happened where. So for that, let we look on our services, systems and tools. We look on the firewalls. We have the monitoring tools. I learned before, yes, is the SOC now preventive or not? Is it a risk mitigation? From my point of view, if it's the risk mitigation we should do before. So in the monitoring tools, we try to detect with the detection tools, intrusion detection, hacking and all that. This helps us, but we have to know when we need that. Is the enemy inside or outside, or is a lot of risks because we don't know it better? It's missing of education, it's missing of training of the people. And at the end of the day, what we do with our information, it should be available at the right time. It should be reliable, that we know, okay, it's true. It should integrity we need, performance and resilience, and last but not least, compliance. So if we look at these 2 dimensions first, we see, okay, we have always these people, we have this technology, and at the end of the day, it has to go hand in hand. So the third one, we talk about partners and suppliers. We do nothing alone anymore today. So we have a lot of chains, relationship chains. We have really supplying networks. So we have also contracts and agreements. Maybe all the security services and the integration and management we bring together. This has to be managed. If we have a very good crew of technicians, usually we don't have a good supplier management because it's the management capabilities which are not available. I was working for a big newspaper in Germany. I think it's the big one in Berlin. And there was always the topic, yes, how to manage the suppliers for to producing this newspaper. Behind, I don't know, there were approximately between 15 and 25 suppliers for the whole IT contribution services, and then you are there and try to manage that, to bring it together. And also security is outsourced and bring something in. It has to be managed, otherwise you have this chaos. So last but not least, the 4 dimensions by everything I do, which is my value stream. So I have to make a combination of my security value creation activities to say, okay, what is this? What do I bring in? I'm on the right port with the context of the business. Do I have understood it? Do I do the right activities, or do I do a lot but on the wrong side? So what helps at the end of the day, and that was also Markus Sauer said, people, technology and processes. We talk last but not least about processes. So let's have a look and dive in this part. We have now 4 dimensions. It's like some tiles we have in our walls, and now we make something above. If you're talking about providing security, it's like everywhere we need some principles. So principles also valid for everybody, and we have take them into consideration. So easy things like focus on value. What is the value we have to protect, and is that what we do at the end of the day bringing value? Is that the benefit? So it's always not easy to declare that. Security is like an assurance. I hope that I never need it. And at the end of the day, why did I pay for that? I never needed in my life. So this trade-off to find that, what is this value? What can I lose? So I need this risk management in behind. So if I want to scope my field, I have to know where I am. So start where you are, and usually it's not so easy to know where I really am. And then if I want to make progress, I want to have all. That's typically if I talk with our customers, yeah, I'm not sure what I need, so I take all. And that's too much. So it's always this trial and error with iterative feedbacks, iterative progress, and then we look on the feedback, we make the next step, we go 2 steps back, make me straight these 3 steps ahead. So it's this working on and then create transparency. And this is a change of culture here. We make collaboration, we promote visibility, so we make us open for everything. But this is a chance in a company, usually something new. Although that we should think holistically over the whole thing, but keep it simple. That means, okay, we have to take some risks. If it's too complicated, people do not follow in. If I need my credential with 25 characters and 7 special characters, and I don't know what, people will not use it, or it's written on the keyboard or something like that. So I have to make it simple and practical, but it should work. And then, as I learned this morning also from your side in the panel discussion, yes, optimize and automate, like machine learning, yes, where possible, do it. We cannot solve everything, but if we have 50% more than before, it's 50% benefit. And I think also this is a new kind of learning and understanding which we need to transport. We cannot cover all. So if we have more than before, that's good. The expectation is everywhere, okay, do something and then everything is covered. That is not possible. So I have this change also in my governance. I have to learn the people to live with risks, to work with the risks, and to deal with that. That means not every time accept it, but to have plans what happens, because we cannot be safe the whole time. I think it's also one conclusion from the corona. Yes, it's existing, but on the other side, I have to live. So this trade-off I have to manage. So this is the point in this governance model we need. We have to evaluate really what do we need for the security, what is important, where are directives needed, there we bring it in, where not, it's okay. And yes, monitor what we are doing. We need some feedback, we need it back. So at the end of the day, we have our security value chain. We need a plan. We have to engage the whole thing. Yes, we make a design, we make a transition to it. Maybe it goes out to the MSSP. So that's the chance for all MSSP to go therein, to obtain and build, to keep it alive, to keep it managed. When we have a SIEM or SOC, yes, we deliver and support, and the whole thing covered under the whole bubble of improve. It's everywhere. We do something, we improve. We are on this plan to check act cycle. We will see it afterwards again, that we are still moving on, that we know, okay, but today is good, tomorrow I have to be better. So it's always this learning. So at the end of the day, we need some practices that we can go on a strategic base, on a tactical base, and on an operational base. So if you work on that picture, Peter from our company is doing these nice pictures here. We say, okay, we have to look around. Maybe you know all PESTEL. It's from the, it's nothing specific from security or from IT management. It's poor economic management. We have to look around what happens. Security, safety, and all that starts everywhere, not in the IT, not in our organization, not with the people. It will start with the people, but also inside, outside. So let's have a look. It's the political factors, what happens here. We learned this morning about GDPR. Yes, we know laws, regulations, taxes, labor law, and all that things. If we look at Corona, economic factors, yes. Yeah, if my money is short, maybe the priorities are set in other than planned. I know a lot of companies, they had a hard 4 months. I think you know them too. There was not the first thing, how can I improve my security? The first question was how I can survive. Then we have the social factors. We have technology. There we are, yes, the gurus, at least you. We have the whole environmental factors. Yes, what happens here? Climate is also a question. For bigger companies, I'm in the right place. And so all that is playing around. It's not so easy to say this is the way. It's always dealing around and look, is it still valid what I evaluated yesterday? It's always going on. It's a work which will not end. So if I want to provide security, first we looked around what happens there. At the end of the day, if I talk about my security value chain, and this is a value. So we have to help our people with this opportunity demand to formulate this, to bring it in the right words, to understand what they really need, and then to help around everything it needs about the guiding principles around a continual improvement that it works, to help setting up governance. Yes, to bring in some practices, we will have a look, that at the end of the day, it works through what is in-house, what is outsourced. So we can help train the people. We can help with awareness, but at the end of the day, it must be anchored in the culture of a company. So that will be a mind change, an understanding of the people. It's not written if I make only an email that as from tomorrow we will have a safe culture. That does not work. If I give you an example, from 86 to the year 2000, I was working at Swissair in the airline business. So really everything what happens around an airport, and safety was not a topic. Safety was a culture. So and then I changed into the IT, and their safety was something, oh, I don't want to go with safety. That was very, yes, led me away. So it was totally different. So for me, it was really a culture shock. So at the end, what is the value of the security? That's no security incident. That's the value. But to make this understand is not so easy. How can I see a value when nothing happened? We are trained in a different way. So it's really a change here. And we try to focus on that and to help to manage this. So if we leave this picture, we will have what happens here. Security starts on the strategic level in the top management. So really understand building context. Where do we start? What is around? Then all about these risk management activities is a strategic question to mitigate risks, to understand risks, and also to see the chances. If we talk about risks, we have also to talk about the chances, the opportunities. Yes, we can also manage the opportunities. That also is a strategic task. It's not at the end in the SOC, it's at the beginning. What do I accept? What do I don't accept? What do I try to mitigate and how? So this is understanding what is the core of my business. Then as enterprise, I have to decide about my security sourcing strategy, inside or outside. And it's not so easy to say what is better. So as MSSP, here is a big chance. Influence, lobbying. So we can promote here and we can help as MSSP to say, hey, let's have a look. I help you on the strategic level, on the tactical and operational level, because I know what is in behind. I can help you building a context. I can help you detecting the risks and the business risks we talk here. So it's a chance to start at the beginning. And if I have the chance to build up trust as trusted advisor, then I'm like a brother in a company. And then, as I learned this morning, yes, people buy from people, and then the rest is doing. So it's really at this point here, be at the beginning, be at the source. And then on tactical level, yes, let's talk about an ISMS information security management system. Yes, it's ISO 27000, and this is paper. This I hear every time. You can have it really lean. That means take all the things from the ISMS brings for this. All these things you have to do in processes. At the end of the day, you need 7 or 6 or 7 documents. All the rest you have in processes. Working how you work daily, then nothing. Then security is not additional, security is part of it. So it's intrinsic, you do it automatically. Like if you sit in your car, you make this, and then it's everything set. 20 years ago, that was not usual. Today we start, take the belt and go. So implement roles behind, yes. Who is responsible for which guideline, in which process, what do I have to do, what is my job in my policy, what do I have to fulfill, what are technical concepts we have to consider, and then I can say it as often as I want, awareness training, and then testing. Every football player has training 5 times a week and 1 time a week a football game. And in our companies, we have every day a game and once a year a training, and maybe we should have more trainings and testing, really what happens. And then in operation, yes, we have our SIEM and we have our SOC where we manage the security incident and events. So this is from my point of view, this value chain. So we can go slowly but surely to the end. At the end of the day, it's the simple Deming cycle. We plan. That means we have to start to understand, interested, be curious for the business, for the risks, for the opportunities, for the business context. And then it's the big chance of the MSSP. Then we tailor a security concept. And then we can look what is a holistic managed security service bundle for this customer. And this is fitting for this one, and this is for another one. So something tailored and not one size fits all. That's not the clue. So, and then people feel good because I see, okay, it's something individually for me, and we take it out from our models. So as MSSP, it's like playing Lego. I have a lot of stones, and at the end of the day, I take the right stones, and then you have the right thing. I make my check really once a year or half a year. I investigate on reactions. I look for further opportunities, maybe possible fears, and also open for alternative pathways. Yes, open for something else. Maybe I'm right, but others are also right. And then yes, make it happen. Sign contracts, agreements. We launch the after sales approach, and then it goes on and it goes on. And at the end, I hope people are happy. I hope you are it as well. And I am in time. Thanks a lot.
Fantastic. No, that's an excellent presentation. A lot of great detail. I shouldn't be surprised if people have been taking screenshots of your slides because it's really helpful. And they always are, your presentations. They're always very, very specific to how an MSP would bundle. I like your footballing analogy. I think that's maybe a little true of a lot of security professionals. And yeah, this is a great thing to look at. We actually don't have any time for questions because we're a little bit over. But yeah, what's next for you, Mathias?
Okay, first you can share my slides. I have sent it to you so everybody can have it.
Okay.
And what I can say, every presentation is unique. You will never see the same at the second time. So
it's true. You really do put a lot of effort into them, and it's really nice. Well, are you going to get to travel some more soon? Are you going to be in Germany anytime soon?
Yes, in August, in July, I will 3 weeks be in the Swiss mountains. I will hope to climb a little bit around, but we have a lot of snow. I was last week in the mountains. Up to 2,700 is a lot of snow. But then in August, I want to be back in around this world. I will be in Austria, in Germany, in Switzerland. And if we meet everywhere in this world, I'm happy to meet you.
Lovely. Can I put your email in the chat?
Yes, of course.
All right.
My phone number and my salary and everything.
Ah, okay. Well, many thanks. Have a great afternoon. Thank you, Matthias. Please give Matthias a round of applause virtually. Now we found this clap functions. I'll just do it. I'll start us off. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fantastic. No, that's really good. Obviously, this question of the managed security service of the future is evolving, and you've heard it already, IoT. The MSPs who might be wondering for more revenue streams, just as the MSS of the future, are turning their hands to IoT. And IoT is, of course, a little bit difficult to provide MSS services to, or so we would think. I'm very, very pleased to welcome to the stage Mr. Urs Achmann, Director of Managed